And we're live. Yeah. Hello, everybody. This is a fun video. This is more of a test, to be completely honest with you. I've set up a new camera rig. This isn't the new camera. This is the old camera. I'm going to switch over to the new camera in a second, and I'm going to get a feel for how that looks, and also just see if the camera, because I'm using a Sony mirrorless camera, I want to see if the camera ends up overheating over the course of a stream. So we'll see how that goes. That should be fun. Fingers crossed nothing explodes. That's the important thing, right? Nothing exploding. But today, yes, we are going to be listening to the album Last Epic by the band A.C.T. That's A.C.T. A.C.T. They are a Swedish band, Swedish progressive rock band. They have a few albums out, and I have listened to these guys since I was in high school, actually. One of my friend's brothers supported them on a gig, and I thought they were great. I checked them out, and I've loved their music ever since. I still think this album, 2003's Last Epic, is the best that they've put out. It's well worth checking out, and we're going to check it out today. As always, link is in the description, so please do head on over to Spotify and take a listen to the album with us. Listen along. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about this. And hopefully you're going to find your new favourite band. So why don't I try the new camera, right? So here we go. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. How do I feel about that? The camera will be a little bit higher, maybe. Maybe the camera wants to be a little bit higher, or I want to be a little bit lower. But hello. That's a nice quality shot, right? So this is the new camera rig. I think it looks pretty good. I definitely need to toy with the angles. I definitely feel it's a little bit low down. I like my camera to be a little bit higher than that. But something that we can absolutely work with moving forward. This should be a lot of fun. And as always, thank you so much for allowing me to create better videos like this. I'm going to have to do. Oh, actually, when I do this, that'll have my old camera on there. So quality, well prepared. New camera, thanks to my supporters over on Patreon. So thank you very much for your kindness, generosity, and support. As always, link in the description if you'd like to check me out on Patreon. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about this band. So as I say, I kind of baited people a little bit with the text over the front of this video, where I've called it the best concept album ever. I don't know if that's really the case. I don't know if it's the best concept album ever. In fact, it's definitely not the best concept album ever. There are better concept albums, but it's a great concept album. And as far as concept albums go, it's a wacky one. It's a wild one. It took me years to even learn what the album's about, and even then I'm not entirely sure. Still not entirely sure. But that's cool. You know what I'm going to do when I listen to it this time? So I'm actually going to have the lyrics up. I'm going to do my best to try and get my head around the concepts. I'm going to do my best to get my head around the story. But in essence, it is the tale of a group of tenants living in an apartment, and it's told from the perspective of the building. So there's some drama, some stuff happens. Echo on voice. That can't be right. Hang on. Sorry. I didn't even realise there was a sound input there. Thank you, James, for pointing that out. Wow, okay. Apparently the capture card has its own sound input, and it was monitoring my voice, but you rock. Thank you. Sorry, I'm supposed to be more professional than that. I'm testing, I'm trying these things out. Again, this is just me seeing if this camera overheats while I'm doing a live stream. So the band have a really cool progressive sound. I love progressive rock. Anyway, I'm always talking about prog rock, and I like it when a band is progressive without having to be metal. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely some heavy-ish moments on it. You wouldn't call this band a metal band, though. They kind of have there's like an ABBA vibe going on, which you'd expect for a Swedish band, right? But no, more seriously, there's definitely a kind of sickly sweet flavour to their music. Reminds me very much of Broadway musicals. There's a drama to the way that they write. So let me bring the album up, and we can get going in a couple of minutes. Work out how I do that. Still learning. as always learning, adapting. So if I press this, there we go, a little bit more prepared. So yeah, how do I go about doing this? I could probably work out a way. Tell you what, why don't I? I bring this over here. This should work. We don't need to see me as much, do we? I'm going to use this to look at the lyrics as the album is playing, and I really want to try and engage and understand what it is that's going on with this album. So that's the plan. That's what I want to be doing. We'll see if we can get it to work. How's the camera though? Is it working? Does it look okay? Are we dropping a lot of frames? Any frames dropping? I mean, I'll watch it back afterwards. Oh no, don't want to hear me talking over the top. There we go. Right. So, yeah, let me load up the album. So again, link to the album is in the description. Check it out. Head on over to Spotify. Cue this album up. I'm going to press play on it in 5 minutes. It is a 53-minute album. So yeah, there's some really cool guitar playing on here. But as I say, for me, the thing that's best about this album is the compositions. The thing that's best about this record is the songwriting, the overall sound, the picture that's being painted, if you like. Not just about the guitar playing. There are some cool guitar solos on it, some cool guitar work, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I like the overall presentation would be the word I'm looking for. And I also think that the song The Effect, track number 12, has the best chorus ever written. Well, the most perfect chorus ever written. A wonderful study in chord inversions, an application of chord inversions. So yeah. As always, I will be reading comments whilst this happens, so if you do have any questions, please do let me know in that comments section. Right, let me get this on the go in a minute or two. It's been a while since I've done one of these listening party streams because I've been busy and I'm trying to improve things. I'm trying to make things better. I want everything to be better. I want things to look better. I actually have 2 of these cameras set up, so now when I'm doing Skype teaching, I can have multi-angle face, but also being able to see my guitar in a close-up shot. So that's cool, and I'm excited to test that out with a student later if I can get everything working. Technology, eh? It's not my strong point, but I like it. I like the idea. Let's blame Dan Smith for all of this. Right, should we get listening then? So, please, one last reminder. I'll do it like this actually. One last reminder. You'll get the other camera. One last reminder. In order to respect the copyright owners, I cannot play their music over my stream. You will not be hearing the music via this stream. And if anyone asks in the comment section why they can't hear music, please do explain to them. But you can follow the link to wherever it is that you like to stream music. Check it out on Tidal if you like. I don't mind. You can follow to wherever you like to listen to music, and you will be able to check the album out with me. Okay? So do that and get involved because these streams are made a lot better by you guys and your interaction. I can assure you I will not enjoy this if it's just me listening to this album and talking all the time. That camera's definitely a bit low, isn't it? It's definitely looking up at me. Let's see, we'll tilt it. A little bit better, maybe. I still need to work out the framing, but we get the idea. Anyway, so I am going to press play on the song intro in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Enjoy. I've always wanted to do some kind of in-depth transcriptions from this record. Dramatic strings, who doesn't like strings? Gone into Pink Floyd land. We head into wailings from a building. You can play that. I've never learnt any of this. Okay. Nice little transcription thing to do there, right? Getting those stabs on the guitar. I think the fact that they're Swedish gives you those inconsistencies in language. It's I'm in need of sleep, not I'm in need for sleep. Really creative guitar work. It's actually a really super cool, busy guitar part. You know what I mean about the kind of theatrical nature of this? Really like that guitar part behind that. That's really cool. I believe the guitar player's name is Ola Anderson. There's some vocoder stuff there. That's a really cool guitar solo. Chromaticism in there. I've always liked this solo. That guitar part behind that chorus is so cool. Peter, that's how I feel about my wife when she speaks English. I mean, she's not foreign. She's Scottish, but still, she doesn't know the language. Mark my words, I'm gonna learn that chorus. That the rhythm guitar part in that is so good. And again, I like it because it's chord changes, isn't it? You can hear harmony. There's something happening rather than like that kind of more basic way of composition, which is riff around E and then riff around G, and you know. Okay, Mr. Landlord. This is a cheesy song, but I like it. Driving riffage. I mean, landlords are the worst, right? I mean, that's a mistranslation, isn't it? I get it. I get it. I mean, that is a landlord through and through. What landlords are running around in their Giorgio Armani suits with Cuban cigars? This is a great example of that kind of, like I say, that uh, Broadway musical vibe. It's very theatrical. The one with all the strength. I do think landlords are the worst. Me and my wife have been considering buying another house though to be a landlord, to be landlords. That must be a fun one to play live. Da, boom, bow, da, doom, it's just like kind of chunky rhythm guitar stuff, right? Fatal Strike says, I love your tutorial videos. You're an amazing musician. All about expanding my musical palette. You're not digging this so far. Okay, fair enough. I've never listened to this album and really read the lyrics. It doesn't really give any indication of how the landlord is watching them, right? Romanticism, tapping. Slick. Chorus again, but in a new key. I like the vocal harmonies, that kind of richer, richer texture. Okay. Torn by a phrase. Dance of Mr. Gumble is a great instrumental piece. Great kind of rock instrumental. This is a very cool guitar part. It's a riff that just keeps on giving. It's progressive, isn't it? Anything but predictable. I have to say, Peter, so if you check out their album Circus Pandemonium, that's another concept album. There is somebody that's supposed to do a voice on there, a Scottish voice. He's supposed to sound kind of Glaswegian, but it sounds like someone from Edinburgh pretending they're from Glasgow. Lovely chord progression. I think they're very creative, Fatal Strike. I like to listen to a song like this and imagine to myself, how would this sound if I strummed it on an acoustic guitar or if I played it at a piano, and it would work. And we get a proper prog breakdown now. All the time signature changes are going to come, all the dramatic dynamic shifts. Doesn't come in there, comes in here. Antiphony between the guitar and the bass. Very, yeah. My circus like, very playful. Progressive music is one of those really interesting genres whereby, I kind of wish I could listen to this album again for the first time. I've heard this album 100 times, so I know it really well. And getting that balance with your music of it being fresh, something that's new and exciting and unpredictable, is great. But getting that balance between that and what's the words I'm looking for? I'm trying to listen to the lyrics as well. Getting that balance between that and also sort of gaining an appreciation through familiarity. It's hard to get that balance, I think. To me, this album's a grower. It's definitely a grower. Okay, now on to Ted's Ballad. Oh, lost it. There we go. So that vocoder, that's going to be the building. Now that's not written out what the building's saying there, which is sorry, it was on the end of Torn by a Phrase. This is when the harmony vocals coming in this. This is the pinnacle of cheese. I like that verse. I think it's the piano part is really delicate behind it. I think when you introduce all the strings in there, it's a little bit cheesy. Surely that's eyes, not aisles. Okay, so now you get the cheese. This is Ted, the gardener. I mean, it is Ted's ballad. I think the strings are great on the album, though. When I think of the progressive influences here, like this reminds me more of the, like the Gentle Giant Kansas. Actually, I really like Kansas, and this has that vibe to me. And you know what I mean when I talk about the idea of it being progressive but not metal. It's progressive rock. It's not all that heavy. There's heavy moments. We're about to head into Dancing Mr. Gumble, which is very much the the instrumental metal showpiece. Why are you not using software, Peter, like Sibelius? Or Muse Score? Or Dorico? That's definitely eyes, not aisles. Okay, now we're heading into the Dancer Mr. Grumble. So it's Mr. Gumble, not Mr. Grumble. I don't know why it's listed as Grumble there. This is heavy. This is groove. I like this a lot. This is one you'd want to learn. This is that moment on the record where you're like, yeah, there's some cool guitar playing in this. I like this. Again, though, even though as cool as I think the guitar is in this, I've never learned it. Okay, we're playing sevens. So what Fateful Strike said earlier about they're all well practiced. You're right. But I think there's a subtlety to everything that they do. There's I could listen to so many other prog albums where there's a lot more showcase of what we're capable of on the instrument. To me, this all feels very much about the music. There's a few little flashy moments on the guitar, a few little flashy moments on the keyboards, but to me, this is all about the groove. What chord is that? Okay, we're heading into Wake Up. It ends quite abruptly, actually. You have this triplet thing. Then you move into Wake Up. We're reggaeing it up. And 2, and 3, and 4, and... It's giving us a bit more insight into the tenants, right? With cousins. Cheeky. Key changes for each of the choruses. That vamp on the piano, the root, fifth, root, fifth versions. It's a nice, yeah. I love it from a harmony perspective. Losing temper. Makes no sense. Ted is honest. Again, pre-chorus, and then for the chorus, we're going to have that modulation into the chorus. Whatever the cost might be. Mm-hmm. I think I'm probably into stuff like this because I remember listening to like Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds when I was younger, and that listening to an album for a story was always really cool. I think actually they're due a new album out very soon. The fretless bass. Yeah. Again, modulation. That lead guitar part is kind of cool. With so capricious minds, not such. We're going to get the same thing, modulation. That's the thing I struggle with Fatal Strike. So like, I hate instrumental guitar music, generally speaking. I I hate technical showcase music, or music that feels like a technical showcase to me. Um, like I listen to a lot of country music, and that's just like man singing with guitar. I like that. Um, you don't get musically impressed by it, but you just get into the vibe. It's the reason I like Osmosis, the Aussie album, so much. So a lot of people speak very highly of the song Manipulator. It's not really for me. It's a bit long, if memory serves me right. Yeah, 6 minutes. Manipulator. It's Gumble, not Grumble. She won't let you go. It's a good chorus. The bass in this. Just that ascending bass line. Very cool. Dun 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 dun. Chugga chugga. Yeah, so reading the lyrics is interesting because there is a lot of English in here, isn't there? Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that I hate instrumental music. It's just not something I tend to crave. You know, I'm currently transcribing Kiko Loureira's new album, and it's excellent. Like, and I'm really enjoying it. After that, I've got some Jack Gardner's new stuff to do, and again, I've listened to it, and it's fantastic. It's just generally speaking, I always crave a singer. I always crave a singer. Someone telling a story, something you can connect with. And for all this Kiko stuff, like Kiko's sending me videos of him playing all the stuff, just sat in his living room, and I know what you mean. Like it's amazing to watch someone play with that kind of technical proficiency, and they're so relaxed when they're doing it. He's laughing and having fun while he's doing it. I love that. It's inspiring. I always crave a song. So I would, so the aspect of Pink Floyd that I was never really into was the long, extended ambient sections. And I think that if you wanted to trim some music out of this album, you probably could. This would be somewhere that you might consider starting. Now we're getting themes that we've heard previously, but now kind of mutated. I promise you though, Fatal, when you get to the song The Effect, you're going to be blown away. I hope you are, at the harmony in the chorus. It's so well executed. It's a perfect composition. It's always harmony that grabs me more so than like modal stuff. Going, oh yeah, this section's Lydian. I guess I'm looking for music whereby the music isn't the feature. Something my wife would enjoy, and she likes this band. So my favorite song on yeah, Tomorrow. That's the one where Ozzy really screams as he goes into the chorus. I think that's his best vocal. Hello, Alvaro. How's it going? What do you think of the new camera? Look at that bokeh behind me. Lots of layered guitars there. 3 lead guitar parts. That consistent 8th note part in harmony, and then there's a lead guitar in the right ear. Oh, sorry, I got carried away there. Okay, a loaded situation. It's an instrumental. And we're going to get the observer, the cause, the effect, summary. Chug, 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 chug. Just wait till you get to the effect. So yeah, yeah. Oh, there we go. BLS. I was gonna. I can look at BOS and well, that could be a lot of things. Yeah, unfortunately, you can see the detail in my beard, can't you? You can see that I'm starting to get some greys. So that side, oh no, I'll get greys on this side. So anytime you hear that that vocoder, you know that's the building, but you really can't hear what he's saying. Is there any information on it? There's definitely a voice on that. Yeah, man, the camera is good, and as I said to someone earlier, I've actually got 2 set up. I've got multi-angle set up for Skype teaching now, and for live streaming and videos and stuff. So definitely need to sort the angle out. It's definitely a little bit low for my taste. Yeah, personally, I feel that you could probably drop this track from the album. Okay, now we're going to start heading into what I consider to be the album's peaks. And you would expect that. It's a Concept albums are interesting in that respect, right? You want them to gradually build to a climax. Of course, comparing this to like Dream Theater Metropolis Part 2, no, this Metropolis is a better concept album. Should do a listening party of that. Actually, it's been years since I've listened to that. Creepy. That's definitely not seeking. That's slinking in the stairways. Time signature changes, right? Always on your toes, keeps you guessing. I do wish that the singer had run the lyrics to this by somebody. Like Martin Miller will do that with me from time to time with his lyrics when he's working on vocal music at the moment, and he always wants the input from a native English speaker. It's flat on that last bit. I really dig the tone of his voice. It's very soft, it's very gentle. Yeah. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4. That's how I'm counting that. Okay, now we head on to the cause. What do you mean, Guy? Static bass note with the moving voice on the keyboard. I love the way that bass note drops down. I love the rhythm guitar work. I think the rhythm guitar work on this record is absolutely impeccable. The vocal harmony was lovely. Cut on my elbow. Ow. How have I done that? So. Okay, now we're going to head into the best song on the album. Bold move to put your best song of the album so far in. I promise you, the chorus in this song is incredible. And if you stuck with me this far, you will. This is the payoff. Here we go. What a chorus. Same chord progression, vocals. You're a madman, Peter. Gerardo! They do break the golden rule of great choruses, which they don't play it enough in the song. He would never walk this earth again. A little rhythm guitar part is cool. Look at that great chorus. It's the descending bass. It's so perfect it hurts. You get a little bit of a interlude here, and then you get the same chorus again, but now with added female vocal, which comes out of nowhere. We like a bit of guitar playing. Now, female vocalist. Don't know why. Doubled vocal as well, which I don't like. Yeah, no reason for that to be doubled. But yeah, I hope you've basked in the light of my beard. Getting out of control, right? You know it's too long when it's longer than... If it's longer than a hand, it's too long. Okay, summary. Great chords. I see what your mind construe. I like that line. Great. Just listen to these chords. Like, I want that ability to just hear these and immediately play them, not spend 10 minutes working them out. Like, hearing a chord change and knowing what it is, and lovely chords. Oh, it's high there. I can't sing up there. Epic build. You can play a really fun game of guitar or keyboard. Keyboard. That rhythm guitar work is excellent. I just can't really think of bands that sound like this, you know? Hi. And heading into outro, which is instrumental, isn't it? Yeah. Oh no. Now you've heard the tale being told. And there we go. That's the entirety of the album. Peter, I'm actually going to. Circus Pandemonium. Circus Pandemonium isn't on. I'll have to play it off my computer. I'll do it. I'm going to let you hear. I want you to hear that hilarious Scottish accent because it's offensively bad. Sorry, let me locate it. So the camera seems to have worked. I've had no dropouts, so that's good. Act. Or I find out I've not even. Yeah. There we go. Offensive, terrible accents.
Get back into the box. It's your job to show yourself before the audience. How hard can that be?
Just leave him alone.
Was I talking to you? Eh? Just stay out of it.
Just leave him alone. He can't even defend himself.
Eh?
You've even cut out the poor man's tongue.
Man? What man? He's not a man. He's a freak.
No, he is a man. You are the only freak here.
Who the hell do you think you're talking to? Eh? You'll end up just like him if you don't shut your mouth, you little maggot. I'm the man here. I'm the boss. And don't you ever forget it.
There you go. Passable Scottish accent? I don't think so. Enjoy it though. So James says, musically interesting but way too Broadway in places for my taste. Also not a massive fan of the vocal style. Fair enough. Yeah, listening party for the soundtrack to Oh Brother Where Art Thou? Bit of the old bluegrass, eh? I could consider that, yeah. Next up I'm going to be doing Casey Roberts and the Live Revolution, Parkdale Funk, which will be cool. It's a long album. It's like an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. It's because it's two discs, but it's a great record. Really, really looking forward to doing that proper funk album. So yeah, let me know what you think of that. I'll hang around for another minute or so. If you listen to the album, let me know what you thought. So my thoughts on it. Musically, I love it. It's playful. It's Rush meets Kansas would be a really good way of putting it. They're totally, they're progressive. They've got a sound. Musically, I absolutely love it. I love that the thing that James doesn't like, which is the kind of Broadway vibe. I love musicals. That's worth pointing out. I absolutely love musicals. I'm not going to say it's my favourite genre of music, but if I had the opportunity to go and see a musical every single week, that would be something that I'd absolutely be into. So, I love musicals. So the vibe that I get from this is very much sounds musical theatre inspired, and I dig that. I do enjoy that. But now listening to the album whilst reading the lyrics, I'm actually offended at how bad the English is in there. It's really very weak, and that really does ruin it for me. It really does make me kind of have a lesser opinion of this record based on that, and that's such a shame because this is one of my favourite progressive albums ever. I did a video a couple of years ago listing off my top 5 prog albums that you probably haven't heard, and this was number 2 on the list. Number 1, of course, was Thank You Scientist. Their first record, Maps of Non-Existent Places. Was it that Maps, or did I do Stranger Heads Prevail? One of the two. Probably Maps of Non-Existent Places. I should probably do a listening party of that. I could have Tom Munder on. That would be quite cool. Anyway, point I'm getting at is, I genuinely hold this album in very high regard. But whilst listening to it and listening to the lyrics and just how English a lot of it is, that's a real shame. A real shame, and it really lets the album down. It takes it from being like a solid 9 out of 10 to a 7, because you're making progressive music, and the focus, of course, is, especially in this particular instance, the focus is very much concept. It's a concept album, and getting that concept across is super important, right? So telling your story is really important. You need to be clear in the things that you're saying. People need to understand what it is you're saying if you want to convey a story. And a lot of the message gets lost in translation. A lot of the story gets lost in translation if you can't convey correctly, if you can't use the right words. And that was all easily fixable, all easily fixable. Just ask a native English speaker, does this make sense? It's a simple question. Does this make sense? There's a lot in there that doesn't make sense, and that it breaks my heart. So there you go. That's what I have to say about the album. I still love the music. I think there's some really, really cool and creative guitar playing in there. I love the harmony on the record, and I don't just mean the vocal harmonies. There's the vocal harmony, like the choral type stuff, is very cool, but I just mean the overall chord progressions. There's some interesting chord progressions. I really like those. I think those are really interesting. They keep me hooked. They make me want to go back to the songs and learn the chords, learn the harmony, because music is harmony, right? So that side of things I still really enjoy. There's definitely, I think, rhythm guitar wise, I think it's a very creative album. And yeah, I do dig it. It's never going to stop being an album that I enjoy. But I will cringe a little bit more now when I listen to it. And I guess that's the upside and the downside of one of these listening parties, right? I've listened to this album, as I say, 100 times in my life. 100 times, easily. But I've never listened to it in the level of detail that I listened to it with today. And musically, for me, it holds up. But artistically, as a complete artistic package, it's had a diminishing impact on my overall thoughts on the record. So, yeah. There we go. James Taylor says King Diamond's Abigail. I could do Abigail. I don't see why not. Yeah, I don't see why not. Peter says that it's like if you ask your American friends to do a Shrek voice. Yeah, exactly. It's it's kind of tragic, isn't it? But yeah, cool. Right, as always, I'm going to say a big thank you. I should really sort that camera out, shouldn't I? There's the old camera shot. Old camera, new camera. The angle definitely needs work. Definitely needs to raise that up just a little bit. It looks like it's looking up at me, which gives me a nice sense of power, right? But that's not what I like. Also, I mean, I think I've got it zoomed in. Okay, maybe I just shouldn't have had it zoomed in. I think it looks a little bit better like that, right? It was more because I knew I was going to be doing a listening party and having my face on screen for most of it. That's cool. So yeah, let's have a look. What else we've got? Producers is a great musical. Tool's lyrics to me didn't make sense, but I also didn't listen to Tool for the lyrics. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Tool's music's never really been my cup of tea. But as I say, when I was talking about concept albums and the like, just music in general, like I do listen to a lot of music for the music, right? For the overall the story, if you like, the thing that you're trying to say. So I love a singer. Singers are really important to me. Vocals are very important to me. It's why I like, Symphony X. When I listen to the Odyssey is a great piece of music, don't get me wrong, but when I listen to the Odyssey, the song The Odyssey, I love that it tells that story of Odysseus. That's cool to me, and it's done very well. If you did that same thing and you ran it through Google Translate like 10 times, you end up with this. Okay, this isn't Google Translate 10 times, but it's certainly Google Translate once or twice. And yeah, some of it gets a little bit lost in translation, so that's a shame. Akesh enjoys my content and love from India. Thank you very much. I enjoy your comments, so thank you. You rock. Also want to say my books. Check them out on Amazon. There's actually a link in the description now. I've sorted out an actual link, so if you click the link, the bit.ly link, that will take you to my book page on Fundamental Changes website. I actually have a new book out, and I need to update that and put that in there, so I'll get around to doing that shortly, but you get the idea. Yeah, link in the description. Please do head on over to Amazon and consider picking up a book. Right, anything else anyone wants to say? Probably not. No? Cool. I'm going to go make some dinner before I have to teach at 9 o'clock, but you get the idea. So, as always, guys, much love. Thank you very much for checking out my stream. Like, comment, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies, all of that good stuff, and I will be back for another video soon. Goodbye.